above Norway's snow-rimmed fjords, above the last winter-shrouded evergreen marking the timberline, lies a wonderland of glistening mountains and highlands. This is the land that nature has prepared and set aside for the skier, a rare combination of sun, snow, and terrain in the heart of Norway, the homeland of skiing. No thrill compares with the sight of a smooth, unbroken slope below, the sharp cutting wind in one's face, or the sensation of weightless, almost effortless speed. And the white covering is soft, fortunately. Even the master can count on a periodic baptism of snow. That's completely isolated these inland mountains. Only the reindeer and a few hardy experts chose to invade the white privacy of this little-known area. Even today, some vacationers prefer doing it the hard way, starting out for nowhere in particular with a dog team, tent, and supplies. These mountains and glaciers, covering 3/4 of the country, offer something new for the sportsman who likes to take it as it comes. His familiar parallel tracks cross and recross its vast terrain from December to March on an adventure of discovery that never ends. The going is often rough, but for every hill you climb, there's always another slope to slide down. On trips like these, famed Norwegian polar explorers like Nansen and Amundsen learn the tricks of traveling light. A lunch stop with a rest and a bite of food is pretty welcome all around. Dried meat ground up with peas and seasoning is a standard trail ration in the mountains. And the dogs know what to do with their time. These amateur explorers make their own trail, map, compass, and sun bearings, decide the next leg of the trip. By sundown, our travelers begin to look for a sheltered campsite. A quick supper, a ration of dried fish for the dogs, and soon the little colony is still. For those who like to combine their winter sport with the thrill of exploring, there's no better way to discover this Snowmansland. Here comes the successor to the dog team. Fast streamliners now bring the vacationer to the edge of this winter playground. War-developed weasels and snowmobiles chew their way up from the railway stations to mountain lodges. In many districts, taxi planes bring the lowland visitor directly to his vacation home. But the horse and sleigh are still a fixture. Planes and snowmobiles haven't replaced him yet. Hotels are often surrounded by a score of mountain huts where vacationers congregate in a winter colony. Out across the mountains, a network connects dozens of hotels and overnight stations, each a day's run apart. A mountain holiday is no luxury in Norway. Now here are a couple of independent souls who like to do things their own way. Two hilltop bachelors, apparently. Obviously a bachelor's coffee pot and a bachelor's kitchen, if we ever saw one. But who thinks of dishes on a vacation? That is, while there's still a clean cup in the house. Say, do you that pile? No, let's wait till tomorrow. Or better yet, next week. Just a minute. Remember those two girls at the hotel? Do you suppose that if we started out on a ski trip and just happened to wind up here, let's go? have the prospective dishwashers. Talk about being sold a bill of goods. Boys will be boys. Now, when I was young, what are things coming to? Well, it evidently worked. The ski trip, that is. But what a day for skiing. Sun, snow, and mountain air. Lowland cares and worries are parked at the timberline when the visitor packs his bag for vacation in the mountains. And now, at the top, a little rest before hitting the long slope down. Wait a minute, that means trouble, but she asked for it. Over they go, and a pretty even match they are. Mountaintop seats for a polar bear tussle. Well, let's call it a draw for the championship. But up and away. There was, after all, a plan behind all this. Julia, this just happens to be the place where we live. Should we stop for a bite of lunch? Good work, boy. Consider the dishes done. And done they are. But just look who's doing them. Something must have slipped somewhere. It seems that all our bachelors needed was a little inspiration. And the inspirations, they've evidently taken matters in their own hands. This is the wonderful part of a skier's day, when he can relax before the fire with a story or a song. What can compare with the scent of pine smoke in a mountain ski hut? But it's getting late, and tomorrow's going to be clear and fair. So it's back to the hotel under a full moon, with a promise for the fair guests to meet up for a trip in the morning. Have you ever pointed your skis toward the peaks on a clear, bright mountain morning? Ever felt the powder slipping you on your way? On mornings like these, you become a strong supporter of winter vacations. You know why so many Norwegians save their vacation weeks until the winter month, taking their relaxation. On the top of one of the crystal peaks, you stand with the world at your feet. You gaze out over the blue-white vistas of snow-covered hills and mountains, all of them yours. For your skis carry with them the title to this winter playground. They're your passport to Snowmansland. Here in the Norwegian mountains, modern transportation has some step of the world. The once remote peaks and plateaus have become an international skier's crossroad, where terrain and tradition have kept the sport close to nature. For Norwegians, skiing is a means, not an end in itself. A way into a sparkling fairyland, which would otherwise be closed to them. Outdoor lovers from every land, the poor, the wealthy, the expert, the novice, all have the key to this winter treasure house. On skis, intimately